Okay, I really appreciate everyone for listening to these clips. This is going to be very, very educative. In fact, if it's not educative, it will be informative. So I just want you to pay attention to some of the things I'll be saying, which are very, very key, very, very important. Not just to Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria. Not just to Nigeria. Not just to the whole Africa. Not just to any one part of the continent. It's all over the world. There is this thing I want us to take note of. You know, sometimes when we are winning, we need to look at when we are going to lose. Sometimes when we are professing solution, we need to look at the problem we are creating. You know, there is this part of there is this religion that's Christianity. There are some things they've foreseen and which they've actually discussed over time, but some of these things uh, we do not buy into them. I'm not saying we should buy into them. I'm not saying we shouldn't buy into them. But I will still say that there is no way we can dance out of those tons of things. And some of those things that have been said then through them, through the Holy Book, some of those things are coming to pass. Imagine the river Euphrates dried up, and according to what was written in the scripture, which is happening to it, imagine so many things that are happening right in the present age. So there's this thing I want to say again. That there is this thing still want to come up with, which is about uh, the slavery that took place in Africa then by the Western white by the colonial masters. We call them colonial masters, but I call them Western words, which came into Africa to exploit our minerals. So, and not just minerals, even our person. We came into the Western world to take our mineral, our person. Ag- Eventually they were able to succeed. They were able to they won. They find their way in, and they were able to colonize us to a certain point that even our mentality was colonized. Seriously. But there are some things they actually gave to us, which are now what we build on and becomes a power for us to not to fight back, but to be able to bring them to a point of reasoning that it is not about when you win, it is about what you create. Yeah, it is about what you create. Because what you create either bring back to you a problem or a solution. So even till date, some of those people who colonize African countries, some of those African countries, till now, they are still in search of solution to their problem. I think then their problem was solved, but now it look as if their problem was solved, but a greater problem is arising. Yeah, greater problem is arising now. And this take me to a point whereby uh, they are the one creating so many things. They are creating so many technologies. Even some of those technologies, most of those technologies we are benefiting from right now are mostly created by Western world, Western countries. We are benefiting. Not to talk of the car, not to talk of the uh, house structure, many things and many amenities like that. But uh, with all these things, they are quite good. Some of these things helped us up to build our person, to build who we are today. We say that who we are today is as the result of God. God has used them for us to get our sense in proper manner and or arranging order. Uh, but now there is still this thing. There was a time of coronavirus that was 2019 to 2020, or about, whereby the whole country feel it. According to what we observed was that the virus was created by uh, some of our researchers whereby the virus was to sometimes some of this virus was to clear some people, was to use as a nuclear weapon or massive destruction for some people, but it turns out bad against those who actually created it, which it spread out all over the country. In fact, we weren't expecting the level at which or the level of the rampage. It was so massive. A lot in it when it happened that it in most US citizens it takes their lives. Many countries like that. And now that brings me to the fact that in the process of seeking for solution, we are creating we are creating a problem. That's what one of the things I just want to say. In the sense of creating solution, we are creating problem. And another thing is that there was a time that I had this. I don't know if it's actually true, but I know it can be true that there were some people. Even I won't say that it can be true because coronavirus actually clears it. And there were these people who were thinking not within them that they want to they want to reduce the number of people from Africa, all those. So we say that yeah, it's true. We were trying to reduce the number of people from Africa because they felt that we are just too much. We are too much. Okay. Not the problem now is not because we are just too much. It's because uh, well, let's leave that for the other time. But what I'm actually trying to address here is that with so much sleep on our senses, yeah, over time, with so much sleep on our senses, we've not been working on what our decisions, our actions. We've only been looking at the result. We don't look at the consequences. We don't look at the repercussion. What it will bring up in years to come. Where will this thing lead us to? In some of our decisions, what are we trying to trigger? And who is going to be affected? Who will be the benefactor? Some of these things we've not taken our time to check it out if it's going to benefit any one of us well or not. Now, I would think that would lead me to the case of LGBTQ. You know, many people thought that LGBTQ to them is a means for them to choose whoever they decide to be. That's just it. They just felt like I can make my decision. I can be this. I can be that. It's not bad. If you have decided to be this, to be that. But the fact remains that let's look at it. And the fact remains that if you decide to be LGBTQ, what is your what will you be producing? That's just the thing. What will you be producing now? That's it. Uh, there is something we don't know. There is a sense of massive destruction that is already in rampaging that we are creating for ourselves. That no, not even here. The Western country they've created a sense or a means of a massive destruction for themselves, which they are now legalizing. But in their senses, they felt like it's the means of freedom. Because when I look at the sense of LGBTQ recently, and I was like, ah, okay, in case for us who doesn't know what LGBTQ means, it means lesbian, bisexual, transgender, gay, and so on like that. If you can help me to finish the what's it called the full meaning in the comment section. So now, if a man marries a man, the senses, what will they be producing? What will be the result? If a woman marries a woman, what will be the result? If a man marries an animal, what will be the result? That is it. If a woman now there's another one, maybe they've not added to it. Some doesn't want to give birth because it's a stress to them. So how will the continuous of man continue? How will the existence of man continue? This is a big time issue we've not been dealing with, because the Western world, which I see UK, USA, and Canada, and many other, and some other France country like that, francophone country like that, who buy those ideas. What is their future? Now, if care is not taken, if we watch it very well, we realize that the decision for us to pick all these things to us is good. Now, it's good. And when I was reading it in the comment section, I realized that these things didn't just come into place, if not for some reasons. This reason, some points, it has been ongoing. And I just prayed to God that, so this thing I'm saying now, we actually solve so many problems. You know, when a woman begin to see much of herself that she can become a man, it's a problem. And when a man begin to get himself engaged in some things that can destroy him and also his family and his generation to come, is a problem. Sometimes some of the things we think of when we're looking for solution is just the solution. We don't look at the problem it might bring. Now, a guy commented that, okay, the reason why for LGBTQ, why some guys decide to be gay, some women decide to be lesbian, was because if you look at the law constitution of US now, United States, it mostly favors the women. It doesn't favor the man. So some man now decide that, okay, some women make it in a plan that when they see a star, they get engaged with the guy, showing love at the first sight, and by the time you get to a point, you begin to tear off, and by the time they were tearing off, they want to claim part of their property. So, and these things has been happening. It's not just happening, it has been happening, and women have been going scot-free with it. And who are those people who created this law? It is still men, just to favor the women. Now, this thing has been going on, and now men who created the solution is now a problem to them. Now they are now looking for a way out of the solution. They now create gay men marrying men. Now, somebody now said the sense of men marrying men is because so that a man cannot come and claim man's property, because since you don't have a child with the man, man doesn't have a child with the man. So what will you say you want to claim from the man? So that's the sense around it. So now for them, they are now like, okay, I will be a gay, I will be a lesbian. So I'm not giving birth to a child again. I'm not giving birth. So they are just enclosing it up like that. And one funny thing about all this decision was that they are not only making it, they are not being reasonable with it, making it in a way that they have a plan of doing that thing. But now they are now making it a open avenue for any individuals who doesn't want to give birth to a child, who doesn't want to continue that kind of life. They are now making it a open avenue for them so that they too they can buy it and also come and become a gay just like them, become a lesbian just like them, just be part of the LGBTQ. And the sense of LGBTQ, you don't know that is a sense of bringing an extinction into the continuity of humanity. Is one of the things we don't know. Is to bring is the point of extinction, a point whereby the discontinuity in the continuous continuity of humanity. Because if a man doesn't give birth to a child, a woman doesn't give birth to a child, who will continue after them? That is, these are some of the things, little little things we're supposed to think over by the time we are taking some of our decisions. Some of this now, a man who want to use drug to help himself in getting in doing work, become become addicted. And in sense of becoming addicted, somebody come close to him, you begin to tell, well, this drug is good, just to make the person feel good about you. But now the person wasn't only feeling good about you, the person also will feel like, maybe I can also take it so that I can also, maybe I can get some of my sense in shape. But I think this thing will help me. You might not even do it right before you, but you've influenced the person negatively, and the person now begins to think that, okay, let me take this drug to make me work better. Before they you understand, they become like you. And now a drug addicted person, we do anything to make sure he do that thing. Okay, that's no, I'm not actually going into drug. What I'm going into is the sense of we creating a massive destruction for ourselves. And now one of the things that we say that we just have to be dancing and be and be playing and be praying for the Western countries as well. And we are praying for you. We are dancing and playing at the same time. Why did I say that? Because some of the issue in my country right away now is not far-fetched from the Western world. Yeah, all because you want to benefit from some of the resources we have. You've created a separation between us. You've so much influenced our leaders that they don't have their right senses again. All of them, by the time they want to keep their money, they even bring it over to your side. They believe so much in you. You've turned them to animals. Now, now that they are animals, they don't even have their right sense again. But now, we that are indigenous, living here, we are suffering it. And we are praying to God again, always and always and always, for God to fight our battle, fight for our cause. Now, that thing has now come up. Do you know that now the point at which I'm going now is that now God is now fighting for us. Some of the things you pick up that you are now spreading now is a cost to your system, but you don't know. US has created a cost to his system. Now, let me tell you, if a man refuses to give birth, if a woman refuses to give birth, and they just want to continue like that, you know they will die. And who will fill the place? Now, they are now doing something that they are bringing more of white, black guys into their country. Who will fill the country? Go and check South Africa. What's it called? United Kingdom now. Africans, they filled up the place. Go and check some of those Western countries now. Black men, they don't fill the place. We are leaving our country, running back to your country. What do you think is happening? By the time it will get to a point, the number of white people in the country will not be much again to even rule or to take over the country. The power will now be to the black man. And the white guys will now be living at the mercy of the black people. And if you know how I started all this thing, was that they were trying to create a solution to their system, but in the sense they are creating a problem. I wish, I wish they can wake up to this, but I won't lie to you, they will never wake up to this, to the solution. No, they will only want to be fighting it, but it's too late because now the whole thing they've created is not just an addiction again. It's now a religion, and now not just a religion now, a spiritual religion. And we are looking at spirituality. The Western worlds are more of spiritual than this our world there, this African continent. They are more of spiritual when it comes to the place of spiritual, because there are some things they deal with. It shows that these guys, hmm, they've gone deep and far. They are, I can call them more of extremists. They know, they think deep, they plan, they are wise in their ways. And these are some of the people God in the book, the Holy Book said, and the Bible says they will use the foolish one of this world to conform the wise one of this world. So foolish things of this world foolish thing to conform the wise one of this world. And now I just want us to understand that for them, the solution I will bring to them is that for them to be able to come out of this, they need to retrace back their step, which is God, which is Christ. Because they actually brought the religion Christian to us, but now you are taking it back to them because they've gotten it wrong at some point. They've given room for the demons, for devil, and now the whole thing is running out of hand for them. But now the whole thing is looks well arranged with them. I won't lie to you. Right now, let's look at it very well. The whole thing looks good. Some of them are still giving birth. Some of them are they've, but some of them are doing well doing. But you know, level at which things is going now, because the reason why I said the level at which things is going, the way their educational system is going now, they are so much that they are implementing some of those things they are doing into the system. All this LGBTQ, they've legalized it, something that has been legalized. How will you be able to destroy it? How will it not go to the least person in the country? Even the child giving birth to today knows that he needs a boy, he needs a boyfriend, yeah, he needs a girlfriend. Now, in their country, how will they not be able to catch up with what some of those things that they've already set on ground? Now, all these things I'm saying, I'm just saying it based on what has been happening, what they've been doing so far. So that's why I say it to be educative, it to be informative, and also I'm not good with the information so far, but with what I've seen is what I've said so far. So I just leave the rest there, and I pray that we won't be the one to destroy ourselves, but we'll be the one to liberate ourselves. In Jesus' name, I pray. Thank you very much. Please subscribe and like my channel, and also share it with some of your friends. They can now have something to add to this. Thank you.